Energy in here feels so strong. We're a powerful bunch. So, what I want us to do is just rub our hands together, touch our hearts, take a breath with me, a deeper breath. Oh, yeah, y'all can make some noise. Let's do that again. Breathe in and let's go an audible sigh. Breathe in, blow it out. Oh, so y'all been holding it in, y'all know. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, blow it all out. I'm very honored to be here. Um, I have been coming here for many years. I currently live out of the country. I'm living bicontinentally between here and West Africa, and so Senegal to be exact, where the common greeting is Assalamu alaikum, may God give you peace. And in my husband's native language, thank you. I appreciate that. In my husband's native language of Wolof, they often greet with Magasi Jama. Everyone can say Magasi Jama? Magasi Jama? And it's basically, are you at peace? And then often they say Yangasi Jama, I am at peace. And even when they're not really at peace, they're like Yangasi Jama, because I'm gonna be there soon. That's the goal. And so this is my first in-person Dharma talk postpartum. I'm a new mother. I know y'all saw that beautiful baby. Whew, I almost got emotional walking with him because I thought, what a gift it is to be a baby, to be in his mother's womb, to have parents with a peace practice. And if you know, like I know, it's a journey. It is an absolute journey. And so when I was walking mindfully with him, I just felt an overwhelming amount of gratitude. Because not only was I walking with him, all of my ancestors were walking with us. All of your ancestors were walking with us. And I must give a special shout out to my three homies, Tit Na Hung, brother Chi Sing, and my brother Jun Jun, who were also walking with us. So, I have a new book, and it's called Reverence. Don't y'all like that word? Can y'all say reverence? Reverence. Ooh. For those of us who show up for our mindfulness vows, y'all know that the number one is reverence for life. And so this book has been with me for many years, and I gave birth to it literally a month before I gave birth to my son in May. And as I said, this is my first in-person talk. And at the beginning, when we were asked what we're calling in, and I said, I'm calling in courage. And it's like I heard Tay whisper in my ear, it's already yours. You got it. It's already yours. Don't y'all know it takes courage to be a human during these times? Sometimes I be wondering, like, how the butterflies living? You know, how the birds and the dolphins and the puppy dogs? What's going on in y'all's world? Because, like, you know, life be lifing with us humans. And so I'm going to begin with this piece that I wrote, and it's called I Know. And then I'm going to walk us backwards. I know. I used to carry guilt like a muffled bomb until I rebuked the sorrow that consumed my mother. Magic and madness flowed through my matrilineal line, causing wounds of the spirit that needed to be purified. I made a vow to heal, so that 7 generations behind me could feel the joy of being a whole African woman again. My breath will be the wind beneath future mahogany wings, and in this present moment, I am reaping the harvest of self-mastery. I know how to hold my tongue and shadow and speak through consecrated pens. I know how to cradle my inner child. I have built a safe house within. I used to carry broken people like a bouquet of charred leaves until I gave myself permission to release what no longer serves me. I know how to burn an unstable bridge and make a healthy stew from the ash. I am not defined by my trauma or the residue from my past. When I decided to heal, my organs began to play a gorgeous tune. Onyx stars replace my battle scars every time I tell the truth. I know the honor of living good with courage and compassion. I know the power of being quiet until it's time for direct action. Basking in goodness, grace, and glory, I know how to rest and allow myself to bend. I trust the whispers of my heart. I am my closest friend. I am celebrating. I was a baby born in the midst of fire. I won't apologize for my incredible light. I have become the hero of my dreams. Inner peace is my birthright. Whew. Y'all can snap and do a deep breath with me and do a bow. All right, sister.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I said I'm going to walk us backwards because if you know, like I know, peace is a journey. I love when, whenever I hear the quote, you know, there is no path to peace. There is no way to peace. Peace is the way, or there is no path, you know, y'all know. And so I remember walking through these doors many, many years ago, and I was feeling a lot of internal strife. I'd had some losses in my family. There were just a lot of stuff going on. And I walked through the doors of Dallas Meditation Center, and I was able to lay my burdens down, as the old folks say in church. And oftentimes I would come straight from church, and I would be in the audience. I would be in the sangha, and I would often catch myself because Chief Singh would say something, and I was like, "Hallelujah!" And then he caught on, and he was like, "Amen." I'm like, "Amen," you know. And then Cornell would be in the corner like laughing, you know. Bobby would just be smirking, you know. Whew. And so when I started on this mindfulness practice, like when it took over me like it does, when I started being very intentional about waking up in the morning and watching my breath and sitting still and investigating what's going on in my inner world and allowing myself to consciously observe what I was feeling. And I allowed all those emotions, all those fears, all that anxiety, all that strife, all that angst to come right on up. Because when it come up, when you're sitting, that's the time everything just comes to the front. All the things we've been stuffing, all the things we didn't want to talk about, all the list, all the everything, you know, the moment we try to get still, it comes to the front. And what a gift. What a gift that it comes to the front. Because in order to eliminate the chaos, first you got to see it for what it is. You have to recognize it. Don't get too attached to it, but see it for what it is and go on and let it go. And so, as I became a practitioner, um, I knew that just because I was on this path of peace, it doesn't mean that the road would always be smooth. In fact, when you choose a path of peace, you're often aware that there are a lot of potholes. There's a lot of stuff, for lack of a better word. There's a lot of stuff. And especially now, when we think about where we are in our society, where we are in our personal lives, um, there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of suffering, there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of sadness. I was talking to a therapist friend, and she said that energetically, 2024 feels a lot like 2020. And I thought that's interesting. Y'all remember 2020? You know, y'all remember all the agreements we made in 2020 about how we were going to be better, how we were not going to like hoard toilet paper, how we were going to be kinder, we were going to put our phones down, and we were going to enjoy nature? Or was that just me? Did y'all make some of those agreements like, oh, you know, we're really going to try to be present to this thing called life because at any moment it could be over? Y'all remember that? And so, oh, how quickly so many of us have forgotten. We're back at it again. The cycle of life. Still a lot of suffering, a lot of anger, a lot of death. A lot of people are leaving this physical body and moving on to another plane. A lot of chaos. And yes, we're in the midst of another fiery election. Everybody take a deep breath in and blow it out. Ooh. And so when I looked up the word chaos, I liked how it said complete disorder. Complete disorder and confusion. When we think about how chaos lands in the body, how chaos lands in the mind, it has a way of keeping us blinded. You know, it covers our eyes to the truth of who we really are. When there's confusion and chaos, doubt is not far away. Doubt is like right around the corner. Like, okay. And so the opposite of chaos is calm. It's peace. Two sides of the same coin, Bobby. Two sides of the same coin. Complete disorder, confusion. You flip the coin, there's calmness, there's peace. Now, there's no way I can tell you exactly how to get there in 20 minutes, right? But I can share some of the things that have helped and are helping me. And I know in communities, I'm not going to say this community, but I'm just going to say in some communities, when we meditate and get still and we take our vows, sometimes there's a tendency to spiritually bypass. But you can't bypass chaos all the time. And you certainly can't always bypass it. And you can't base your peace on there not being chaos, if that makes sense. Wiggle your finger if that makes sense. It's kind of like the notion of everything has to be super quiet for us to meditate, which that's enjoyable. I love it when that happens. It works. But There have been times where I've had to meditate in the middle of a subway. I was teaching brothers how to breathe in South LA, and I was occasionally doing that outside in parking lots. Um, I was doing it in Texas at laundromats where there was a lot of noise, and it helped deepen my practice because if you can get still in the midst of chaos, you're going to be all right. Let's take another deep breath. Blow it out. Whew. And so I had mentioned in the blurb, I said with conscious awareness, daily mindful practices, compassion, and a determination to see the good, we can find peace in the chaos. On my way here, I thought of the word stop. And in my mind, I just started thinking of like, what's an acronym that I can come up with as a reminder that when things get really chaotic, to just stop. Because think about it, like tornadoes have a lot of chaotic energy. And when there's a lot of chaotic energy, should we run? Should we be running with the energy? Should we be running? Ah, we need to stop. Stop. And so for us, I thought, still. We need to be still when there's chaos. Our mindfulness practice, our daily meditations are a great start. Because when you're still, you can often see the root of not only your suffering, but you might get a glimpse of someone else's suffering by being still. And then I loved the word surrender. Surrender came. So a couple of these have like two. So we're going to stop, we're going to be still, and we're going to surrender. Because the truth of the matter is, there's so much happening that is beyond our control. As much as we, mighty humans think we can control everything, so much is beyond our control. But how wonderful it is that we get to, in a way, control our breath. So stop. Be still. Surrender. And then I went to the T. In the midst of all that chaos, we need to T. Turn within. Everyone take your hand and just say, turn within. It's your mirror. Turn within. I loved how somebody used both hands. Come on now. Turn within. And we need to tell the truth. That can be hard for some folks. But liberation is there. Turn within. Tell yourself the truth about what you're feeling. About what you're really feeling. It's just you, so you might as well tell yourself the truth. And then we have O. We have to keep our hearts open. Open your heart. If it's been closed, tell your heart it's okay to open back up. When there is a lot of suffering and chaotic energy, it's easy to want to retreat, ball up, and protect yourself. It's actually necessary at times. But we don't want to stay balled up forever. We don't want to stay tight forever. It's not sustainable. And we are seeing a whole lot of people who are, tightly wound up. And when things are so wound up, The next thing is an explosion. The next thing is the big pop. And we don't need any more explosions. There's already too many wars internally and externally. So we need to keep our hearts open. A great reminder and a great way to soften your heart if it's been it's been a while and there's a lot of tension. Thank your heart. Literally thank your heart, because it is the reason why we're all here. It's the first thing, maybe the first thing your mom or your dad heard to let them know that you've arrived. So we can never thank our hearts a lot. We can never thank our hearts enough. And we should be thanking our hearts a lot. And when we open our heart, it gives us more room for optimism. Whew. We have to try to see the good. I know it's not always easy, but it's necessary. It will do us so much justice. It would do us well to be optimistic during these times. Because your optimism could inspire someone else's optimism. And then who knows, we could just have a whole big optimistic party. You know, we could be having a good time. We could be having a good time, just a whole bunch of open-hearted, optimistic folk working through their stuff. I'm in. I vote for that. And we're to the P. So if you're following me, stop. In the midst of chaos, we need to be still, S. Surrender, T. Turn within, tell the truth. O, open your heart. Remain optimistic. And then we're to the P. And I thought of play, pleasure, peace. When was the last time you played? Could be an instrument. It could be playing peekaboo with a baby. It could be hula hooping, maybe a video game, play with some dolls. Oh goodness, my snort. I didn't start snorting until I got into my 20s. I'm like, what is this? And then once I draw attention to it, I'm gonna be snorting all even more. So just, if you snort with me, just do it too, so I won't feel so alone. Just kidding. But play. I had to get a little bit more comfortable. Playing has a way of, I keep thinking of the word softening. I used to teach children. And if you wanna really be mindful or get a lesson on mindfulness, like watch children, because they are really all in it in everything they do. They are focused. They are observing. When they're playing, they're really playing. They're present to the play. So think about some things you can do to help turn your attention away from all the chaos. This week, I want you to give yourself more time to play. Only you know what that looks like. Only you know what that feels like for you. But I certainly encourage you to do it because you deserve it. And play and pleasure kind of go hand in hand, right? Um, hmm. If you're an artist, have you painted lately? I love that you said that someone, forgive me for not remembering your name, but I love when you say, I'm excited that there's a shop that's selling your cards. How wonderful is that? It's pretty great. Bravo to you. Bravo to you. So, another way that we can shift our attention from the chaos is to do things that bring us pleasure, as long as it's not causing anyone harm. Let me just say that. You know, pleasurable things that don't cause harm. And then, as I wrap it up, because time has just flown by, I'm like, has it been 20 minutes already? I like that. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. As y'all can tell, I got some things to say. Here we go. No, it'll just be a couple more minutes. Thank you, Bobby. And then there's peace. This is a rhetorical question, but I want you to ask yourself that. What does peace mean to you? Take a moment, close your eyes. Ask yourself, what does peace mean to me? Not what peace means to someone else, but what does it mean to me? Deep breath in, blow it out. And when you have it in your mind, a clear thought or understanding of what peace means to you, I want you to also think about how you can share your peace with someone this week. How can you share your peace with someone this week? When you're ready, you can open those. Peace is a practice. It is a daily practice. And I'm reminded of an incident that happened on Monday where I had to share my peace with someone. I had the honor of sharing my peace with someone. And it could have been really different. I could have shared my pain with this person because this person gave me their pain. And so, just a quick story. Uh, we were in a parking lot, my sister and I, my precious baby. Um, and I guess we had parked, not I guess, I know, my sister had parked really badly over the line, over the line. And so there was a person next to us in the car, scowling. And so, you know how someone is staring at you and you can feel it, but you don't quite want to look because I was trying to get the stuff out, gather my stuff so I can go into the store. But then I looked, we locked eyes, and she was like, took a breath. I said, good morning. She did this. Good morning. Are y'all going to move? I said, give us just a second. I have my baby in the car. We're gonna move. Well, y'all need to hurry up. And I felt myself getting a little agitated. That's why I say peace is a practice. Fortunately, I sat for 25 minutes before I walked out the door. And so once I got out the car, I walked by her and she was still scowling. She proceeded to roll down her window. Are y'all gonna move? I need to get my babies out of the car. And I said, life is too precious. Calm down. My sister's about to leave. But I need to, it was all in a split second. I could have been caught up in that chaos. And truthfully, at another time, we could have been in that chaotic dance. But I've grown. Peace feels so much better. And so I repeated back to her, it's okay. And I apologized. I said, I know she parked badly, but it's still not that serious. Life is too precious. Life is too precious. I thought, wow, what a way to say that. Okay, girl. So I go into Marshall's, and as I'm leaving, I see her with her two children. And of course, I felt compassion. I felt compassion even before noticing her two children because I could see sadness and sorrow in her eyes. And that's not woo woo or esoteric. That's just, it was there. Oftentimes, people who act like that, there's a lot of stuff going on. When I've acted like that, there was a lot of stuff going on. And I'm sure when you've acted like that, there was a lot of stuff going on. I'm roping us into this conversation because it's easy to say, them, they behave like that. But we've all acted badly at some point. We can always begin again. And so to wrap this story up, I just so happened to walk past her again. It was almost like, teacher, 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 come on, come on. My son's name is Nuru, and it means filled with light. And so I call him Nuru the Guru. So it was like one of those moments, teacher, teacher. I just so happened to walk past her again. I said, excuse me. She said, yeah, excuse you. And I turned around and I said, what is your problem? You're going to be her for now, but it's not personal. Just I need a focal point. And I looked at her eye to eye. I said, what is your problem? And she was like, well, y'all. And I said, I told you, I know. I said, but your children are in the car. My baby is in the car. All of that tension is not necessary. And I repeated, life is so precious. It could be over just like that. And with all of these instances of road rage and, people are so ready to go off. People are so ready to snap at any moment. Taking a breath could keep us all here a little longer. And then I did something that I hadn't quite done in a while, but I was obedient to what I heard. And I looked at her, and this is a true story. Happened on Monday. When I saw that she was still a little agitated, I looked at her and I said, I see the anger in your eyes. I said, I see the sadness in your eyes. Fortunately, she was short like me, so we were like, I love. And it almost makes me choke up because she recoiled. I said, I know whatever you're feeling. Well, again, my sister's an excellent driver, but this day, the big truck was just parked all type of ways. So I told her, again, I apologize. I said, but I see anger and sadness, and I know it doesn't have anything really to do with me. And then I had to check my ego because I said, am I right? And she was like, I am going through something, and my family doesn't even know. We've all been there. And so I gave her a little assignment. I said, girl, but when you leave, I'm going to ask you, extend grace and compassion in the same way that I am trying to extend it to you. I said, because if you would have called me on another day, we could have all just been, I can't exactly remember what I said after that, but basically it would have been a tornado. But I chose peace. And I had enough spiritual muscle. I had enough practice. I had enough time where I turned within and told myself the truth. I even had enough open heartedness and optimism. I had enough play for the day and pleasure to hold peace and to share peace and essentially dissolve that really chaotic moment. Whew. Let's take another deep breath and blow it out. I'll end with this chant, which is a reminder to me, to the lady in Marshalls, to y'all, to all of us. Open palms, open heart. There is beauty in the dark. From the center down below, darkness gives you room to grow. Open palms, open heart. There is beauty in the dark. From the center down below, darkness gives you room to grow. Open palms, open heart. There is beauty in the dark. From the center down below, darkness gives me room to grow. Open palms, open heart. There is beauty in the dark. From the center down below, darkness gives us room to grow.